The Indian War of Independence of 1857, also known as the Sepoy Mutiny or the First War of Indian Independence, was a major uprising against British rule in India. The revolt began in May 1857 and quickly spread throughout much of India, involving a wide range of participants, including sepoys, Indian soldiers, peasants, landlords, and members of the Indian nobility. Although the uprising ultimately failed, it had a profound impact on Indian nationalism and paved the way for future independence movement. The causes of the Indian War of Independence of 1857 were complex and varied. One of the major catalysts was the introduction of the new Enfield rifle by the British East India Company. The rifle cartridges were greased with animal fat, which was offensive to both Hindu and Muslim sepoys, as they were required to bite off the cartridges before loading them into the rifle. This led to rumors that the British were attempting to convert Indian soldiers to Christianity, which further inflamed tensions. Other factors that contributed to the rebellion included the high-handed and oppressive policies of the British, such as the doctrine of lapse, which allowed the British to annex Indian states whose rulers had no direct heirs, and the widespread economic exploitation of the Indian population. The rebellion began on May 10, 1857, in the city of Meerut, when a group of sepoys refused to use the new cartridges. The sepoys were subsequently court-martialed and sentenced to 10 years of hard labor. This sparked a mutiny, which quickly spread to other areas of India. The rebellion was marked by a series of battles and skirmishes, with Indian rebels fighting against British troops and their Indian allies. Some of the most notable battles of the rebellion included the Siege of Lucknow, the Battle of Kanpur, and the Battle of Delhi. The rebels initially achieved some success, taking control of several cities and towns across India. However, they were ultimately defeated by the superior military power of the British. The rebellion was crushed by mid-1858, and many of the leaders of the revolt were either executed or exiled. The legacy of the Indian War of Independence of 1857 was profound. Although the rebellion ultimately failed, it had a lasting impact on Indian nationalism and inspired future generations of Indian freedom fighters. The Indian National Congress, which was founded in 1885, drew inspiration from the rebellion, and many of its leaders, including Mahatma Gandhi, saw themselves as heirs to the legacy of the Indian rebels who fought against British rule. The rebellion also led to major changes in British policy towards India. In the aftermath of the revolt, the British government ended the rule of the British East India Company and assumed direct control over India. They also introduced a number of reforms aimed at addressing some of the grievances of the Indian population, such as the abolition of the doctrine of lapse and the creation of a separate legislative council for India. However, despite these changes, British rule in India remained deeply unpopular, and the Indian people continued to agitate for independence. The legacy of the Indian War of Independence of 1857 lives on in the struggle for Indian independence and serves as a reminder of the power of popular resistance against colonialism and imperialism. In conclusion, the Indian War of Independence of 1857 was a major rebellion against British rule in India, sparked by a range of grievances including economic exploitation and religious tensions. Although the rebellion ultimately failed, it had a profound impact on Indian nationalism and paved the way for future independence movements. The legacy of the rebellion lives on in the struggle for Indian independence and serves as a reminder of the power of popular resistance against colonialism and imperialism. Thanks for watching our video. If you want this type of videos, then subscribe our YouTube channel and press the bell icon.